Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down real clear tonight. See, when you stop chasing a woman, especially a woman who's used to being pursued, her whole game changes. She might walk away looking all confident, head high, heels clicking like she don't give a damn. But deep down, she's wondering, why didn't he chase me? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real straight. When you stop chasing a woman, when you pull back and don't act like every other man out there who's dropping compliments, blowing up her phone, trying to prove his worth, something shifts. Something different happens in her mind because you just became what she ain't used to. You just became rare. See, most women, especially beautiful women, live in a world where attention comes easy. They post one picture, boom, 30 dudes in the comments. They step out the house, 5 numbers before they get to the car. Compliments, likes, emojis, hey, beautiful text. They drowning in it. Every man sees her and automatically thinks, I gotta have her, I gotta chase her. It's like a reflex. But not you. And that, my friend, messes with her head. Because now she's thinking, wait a minute, why didn't he chase me? She starts questioning it. And don't let her act cool or aloof. She noticed, she just don't want to show it. She might act unbothered, might throw you a dry reply or pretend she didn't see your story. But believe me, she saw, she noticed. Because a woman who's used to being chased can smell hesitation. And when she doesn't get it, she starts analyzing. Now, here's where it gets real. The minute you didn't chase her, you became a mystery. And a mystery is powerful. It's magnetic. When she can't figure you out, she starts getting pulled in. She might not admit it, might not send that hey stranger text right away, but her mind is already busy, wondering what makes you so calm, so collected, wondering why her looks and charm didn't work like they usually do. You know what's really happening in her head. She's comparing you to every other man who folded fast. She's thinking, they all wanted me, why not him? That little doubt, that little curiosity, that's the crack in the door. That's the beginning of her turning her attention toward you, and now you don't even have to do much because now she's the one trying to figure you out. She's stalking your social media, checking who you follow, wondering who got your time, wondering who got your interest. You flipped the game. But here's the part most men don't understand. This ain't about being cold or playing some childish game. It's about showing that you value yourself, that you ain't out here begging for her time, that you got options, that you're not needy, that you are secure in your own presence. And security, oh man, that's attractive. Confidence without thirst, that's rare. And when a woman sees that, she starts to question what she thought she knew. Because listen to me, a woman will test you, not in a mean or evil way, but she wants to know what kind of man she's dealing with. Can you handle her beauty without being controlled by it? Can you have interest without losing your backbone? And if your answer is to not chase her just because she's pretty, that's when she starts thinking this man might actually have something real going on. You just showed her that you're not easy to impress, not easy to sway. And that's when you get her attention without even trying. She starts to realize she can't buy your time with just a smile. Can't get your loyalty with just a pretty face. You didn't run after her like the others. You didn't fall into formation. That shook her. Now she's watching you quietly, closely, waiting to see if you really that guy or just bluffing. And that's the power of not chasing. You go from one of many to the one she can't figure out. You know, people like to pretend they're unbothered these days. They like to act like nothing touches them. But the truth always shows up in silence. In those quiet moments when the phone ain't ringing, when no one's watching, when there's no crowd to perform for, that's when the real thoughts come crawling in. And when a woman has gotten used to a certain kind of attention and suddenly you didn't give it to her, she starts thinking about things she didn't expect to think about. You see, when you don't chase her, it's not just the absence of attention, it's the absence of confirmation. Because deep down, whether she admits it or not, attention confirms something. It says you're desirable, you're valuable, you're winning. So when you withhold that, even just by being calm, composed, and not overly eager, she starts questioning what she once believed was automatic. Why isn't he chasing me? Did I lose it? Was I not enough for him to try? And she won't always say it. In fact, most women won't say it at all. She'll act like it's whatever. She'll laugh with her girls. She'll post a few good photos. She'll throw a quote up on her story about being too busy to care. But behind all that, her mind is running. She's replaying interactions, checking her own reflection twice before going out. She's watching to see if you notice that new picture, that new look, that new energy. She's measuring your silence like it's a message. And here's what's real. When a woman starts questioning her value because you didn't chase her, it's not just about you, it's about what you represent. You represent something she didn't control. You represent a shift in the narrative. See, if every man runs toward her and you didn't, then you become the mirror. And that mirror don't always show what she wants to see. Sometimes it shows doubt, insecurity, vulnerability. That's a hard pill to swallow for somebody used to running the show. But that's when the emotional games begin. She might try to bait you, throw a compliment, like one of your old photos, maybe even post something she knows will get your attention, not because she wants you back, but because she wants to check, do I still have it? That's what it's really about. You not chasing her made her question the one thing she thought was untouchable, her influence. Now here's where it gets tricky. She may not even realize she's doing it, because this ain't always intentional, it's emotional. When you break someone's pattern, when you show up in a way they didn't predict, it throws everything off balance. And a woman who's used to being desired will feel that shift deep. It's not about you ignoring her. It's about you not needing her validation. That's what stings. And you know what that creates? Pressure. Not on you, but on her. Pressure to maintain the image. Pressure to prove she still has that effect. And sometimes that pressure reveals who really had the power. Because when you walk away calm, centered, and unbothered, when you don't chase, it silently forces her to go inward, to ask herself questions she ain't asked in a long time. Why do I need him to want me? Why does his silence feel louder than their praise? Why does it bother me that he's not trying? Those questions, that's where change happens. That's where feelings start bubbling up. That's where ego gets exposed. And that's when she starts realizing maybe the value she built was based on who chased her, not on who stayed. That's the moment when your silence starts speaking. When your distance says more than a paragraph ever could, because you didn't chase her. And now, in her own quiet space, she's asking herself if she's still valuable, or if maybe just maybe, she needed that attention more than she let on. When you stop chasing a woman, she doesn't just walk away and forget about you like it never happened. Nah, that's not how it goes. She might act like she don't care. She might throw shade or keep her replies short and cold, but that woman is watching you quietly from the background. See, when you stop giving her attention, you start giving her curiosity. And curiosity, that's louder than words. She starts doing what she swore she'd never do. She starts checking your page, seeing what you've been posting, who you're hanging with. She looks through your stories, watches the timestamps, wonders who you were with when you weren't texting her back. If she sees a name she don't recognize liking your post, she taps that profile real quick just to see, just to figure out what kind of woman you attract. She becomes a silent detective, not because she's crazy, but because something about your distance triggered something real in her, something she didn't expect. She wants to understand why you didn't fall like the rest, why you didn't chase her like a lost puppy, why you weren't sweating her every move. That quiet confidence you carry, it's messing with her. It's too calm, too still. And the stillness is loud. It makes her wonder what you're up to. She starts reading into everything. The caption you posted, the quote you shared, the outfit you wore, every little thing becomes a clue to what you're thinking. And here's the thing, she won't admit it. She ain't about to call her girls and say, I've been checking his page 3 times a day. No. She gonna keep it cute, but inside, she's locked in. Your silence turned into a puzzle, and women, ooh, they love a puzzle, especially when it's about someone who didn't fall for their charm, because you now represent the questions she can't answer. Why him? Why didn't he respond the way they all do? And it ain't just online. She starts remembering the little things you said. The way you looked at her when she wasn't paying attention. The vibe you had that she didn't fully understand. She starts replaying your conversations like old music, looking for hidden meanings. Was he trying to tell me something? Did I miss a sign? That's what happens when you don't chase her. You create space, and in that space, she starts reaching for meaning. See, you didn't ghost her. You didn't disrespect her. You just didn't chase. You showed control. You showed value. And that right there, that gets in her head, because now she's not just watching you, she's analyzing you, trying to figure out if you playing a game or if you really that composed. She's wondering if you're talking to someone else, if you've already moved on, if she was just a moment or something more. And now the tables have turned, because before you were thinking about her, wondering what to say, trying to show her you're different. But the second you stopped and stepped back, she took that job. Now she's the one thinking about you, watching you, studying you, trying to decide what to do next. She might throw a little test your way, comment on your post, like something old pop up in your DMs with some weak excuse like, I meant to send that to someone else. She's not slick. That ain't no accident. She's fishing for a response. And if you give her nothing, oh, she's going to go deeper. Because when a woman feels like she's losing her grip, she starts grabbing at anything that reminds her she still had an effect. So the next time you think she's done because she went quiet after you didn't chase her, think again. She's not gone. She's in the background, watching everything, quiet but focused, trying to figure out who you really are and why she can't stop thinking about you. Distance is a powerful thing. When used right, it ain't a punishment, it's a message. And when a woman feels that distance from a man she thought would chase her, it doesn't just confuse her, it draws her in. It pulls on her emotions in a way she didn't expect. Because that space you created, that quiet, that's what flips the dynamic. You didn't yell, you didn't beg, you didn't throw fits. You just stepped back, and now she's leaning in, trying to feel where the heat went. When you're always available, always texting, always showing up, she gets used to it. It becomes routine. And routine becomes background noise. But when that attention disappears, suddenly you go from background to mystery. She starts wondering where you went emotionally, why you're not showing up like before, why you ain't reacting. And that wondering, that's where curiosity turns into emotional investment. Because curiosity ain't passive. It don't just sit there. It grows. It whispers thoughts in her ear in the middle of the night. It makes her reread your last text. Makes her hesitate before posting something. Makes her wonder if you're watching, if you're thinking about her, if you're feeling the same silence she is. That distance of yours, it's not emptiness, it's energy. And it's reaching her whether she says it or not. She starts measuring the silence, looking at how long it's been since she heard from you, asking herself why she misses something she never even admitted she wanted that bad. Your distance becomes a presence in her life because now instead of just dealing with you, she's dealing with the idea of you. She's thinking about the way you made her feel, about the things you didn't say, about how calm you were when you let go. It's crazy because a woman might not even know how deep she's getting pulled in until the silence has been loud for too long. And that's when the emotions catch up. That's when the pride fades and the vulnerability creeps in. She starts thinking, did I mess this up? Was I too cold? Was he actually serious about me? That little bit of space, it hits harder than 100 compliments because it makes her feel something real. Now, that emotional investment ain't always smooth. Sometimes it shows up as irritation. She might try to provoke you, act like she don't care, pretend she's over it. But if she's doing the most to act unbothered, that's the biggest sign she's bothered. That distance made her feel things she thought she had control over. And it ain't about games, it's about what happens when someone shows they're not afraid to lose her. That's what gets in her chest. See, when you're not desperate for her energy, when you're content with your own space, she starts wondering what's so good about your peace that you ain't begging to break it. That mystery, it starts eating at her. She's not just thinking about how to get your attention. She's thinking about how she lost it in the first place. And that thought, that's what makes the emotions kick in. Because it's no longer about control, it's about meaning. The moment your distance makes her question her place in your life is the moment her heart starts making moves her ego can't stop. She might not act on it right away, but she feels it. She might dream about you, might start checking your feed late at night, might stop responding to other men the same way because something in her shifted. She's not in control of the game anymore. She's reacting to it. And all you did was step back. You didn't chase, you didn't explain, you just created space. And in that space, she found questions she can't ignore. That's how your distance became the very thing that brought her closer. If a woman truly liked you genuinely, not just for attention, not just to pass time, then your silence, your